Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and welcome to the show. And tonight's show we'll be debating DC doing the Marvel formula, and why is Jason Momoa, of all people, celebrating over on his Instagram? I repeat, why is Jason Momoa celebrating on his Instagram? I think I've got a bit of a clue why that is, so welcome to the live chat. Get the comments in, get the likes on the board, and let's have a discussion. Unlike Elon Musk, I won't charge you for the pleasure. So there's been some complaints by Snyderverse stans and cultists that DC under James Gunn and Peter Safran will be kind of going down the MCU formula. Yes, it will. But James Gunn is a director. He can have one story spanning TV, film, and animation, but allow a director's vision to be part of each movie, each TV show, and even animated stuff. Because once you've kind of put in that element of the arc and the story, you can still do your own self-contained story. Now, the MCU is very different. Kevin Feige runs the whole thing. He tells the directors what to do. But James Gunn is a director himself. So he's not going to do that. He's going to respect the director's integrity, because guess what? He's a director as well. And Jason Momoa is celebrating about something on Instagram. No, I don't think he's welcoming back Zack Snyder. I think that Ray Fisher has decided to return as Cyborg, and I wonder when we'll get that news. Very exciting news if it's true, and if because that's what I think. Obviously, Ray has blocked me on Twitter, but no hard feelings there. He's a great Cyborg, and if it's true, I welcome him back to the role. I mean, Jason Momoa could be celebrating about anything, to be honest with you. Short Circuit. Oh, I do love these notifications. Go away, right. Short Circuit, what, Cyborg is back? Short Circuit, that's great news. Right, hang on a minute. I'm just saying that's my theory. I'm not actually saying that Cyborg is back. I'd be happy if Ray Fisher was back as Cyborg. We don't know that. But Jason Momoa has been celebrating about something mysterious on his Instagram, and I think it's because Ray Fisher is returning as Cyborg. But we do not know that for sure. Let me just, give you that disclaimer. It's just a theory of mine, but it would be very, very exciting if that was the case. I think it's probably, it makes sense. He was always going to come back once Hamada left. They've clearly spoken to him. They want the original actors back. And if Ray Fisher is back, I'm assuming he may shoot something for the Flash movie. Now, what's tragic about this originally, one of the versions of the Cyborg was going to be this kind of big bromance between Cyborg and the Flash in that movie. So it's a great shame we didn't get that. But just to have a little bit of Cyborg in the movie will be fun. So we will see. Maybe I'm wrong. But he's certainly celebrating something. It may not be DC related, but I have a suspicion it is. He made a song and dance about it for a reason. He says that they won't let him tell us what it is. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on there. Right, so please leave your comments, smash a like on the video, please, and we can get this discussion moving. So much going on with DC, but yeah, the Marvel formula is definitely coming to the DCU because it's a winning formula. And, we've tried the auteur directors. We tried Zack Snyder. In a perfect world, you get an auteur, he makes a movie. You get another auteur, he makes another movie. But we've tried this, and it simply doesn't make money. And they are here to make money. So at the end of the day, it's a business. It is a business at the end of the day. So you don't expect them. It's not a charity. They tried the auteur thing. They're still going to allow Matt Reeves and Todd Phillips to do their thing. So you're not actually losing out on anything. But I think this is the right way to go. because superhero movies don't have to be this deep thing anyway. I don't know who told people that superhero movies, something that was created for children, needs to be this deep R-rated thing for adults in the first place. I know you do get like adult comics, and that's cool, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So yeah, I think Ray Fisher's coming back. But there's going to be loads of news by the end of the year. Of course, they've just posted a poster for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. They're saying we won't get a Flash trailer till next year. That's understandable because the next movie is Shazam! Fury of the Gods. So why would you cloud that marketing with a trailer for the Flash movie? It simply makes no sense. So it's no breaking news for me and no surprise there. Just going to get comfortable and just waiting for some more people to come in. So if you're in the chat, let's talk. Tell me what's on your mind, what you're thinking about, what are your concerns. Please let me know. A bit of a slow one today. Normally we've got 5 or 6 people in, not tonight. So that leaves me having to keep the conversation going. And that's okay. And so everyone very excited and has opinions about what James Gunn said last night about listening and being open to all the fan demands, but being focused on the new underlining that DC universe. And he's teased one story spanning movies, TV, and animation. So it's ambitious, but what it exactly is doesn't mean. Is there a connection to the DCEU and the DCU? Nobody knows. We will know sooner rather than later. Will we get a slate? And something else I wanted to discuss tonight, are they fast-tracking movies for 2024? And is that possible? Yes, because at the end of the day, we've got Joker in 2024. They would only need 2 DCU movies. I don't think they'd need 4, but they could fast-track 2 DCU movies for 2024 because, as I say, they've been making plans since April and May. You know, the official announcement of James and Peter being in, that's not when they started work. They started work 5 or 6 months ago. So in 2023, they could actually shoot a couple of movies. It's not, you know, out of the realms of possibility that they could fast track 2 or 3 movies for maybe late 2024. Who knows? Who knows? It's possible. Or maybe they'll give it a break till 2025. We'll certainly be looking out for that here on Movies TV Mad, because I do like to be ahead of the game. I've been ahead of the game on so many things. When they cancelled the movies or when they postponed the movies this year, I told you it wasn't just about VFX. I told you the situations. No one believed me. I was right. I told you that Hamada would be gone. I've even told you that Patty Jenkins will never make a Wonder Woman movie again. I'm still going to stand by that, even though she claims she is. I simply don't believe her. And she mustn't make another Wonder Woman film again. Wonder Woman's an interesting situation, by the way. Zaslav's mentioned a Wonder Woman, but he hasn't mentioned Patty Jenkins. So that gives us some hope that she won't be involved. And if that's the truth, how will Gal Gadot feel about that? Interesting situations all around the board here at DC Universe. So I say here because I feel I'm part of the DC Universe family, being a fan. John, who do you think will be the villain in the Batman 2? Well, I've stated this quite a few times, and I'm sticking by this. I will die on this hill. Not just one villain. People insist it's one villain. People seem to be obsessed with one villain, but I think it's a multitude of villains. We may even get a Batman Arkham movie. Who knows? But yes, I think it's going to be quite a few villains, because in the first Batman, we had quite a few members of the Rogues Gallery. It makes sense to do that. It seems like this is the kind of thing Matt Reeves likes to do. So yes, not just one villain for me, John. I think it's going to be a multitude of the Rogues Gallery, and I'm actually here for that rather than that. Why just have one villain? Why not have a, there's so many things you can do. You can do the Court of Owls. You can do so many things, and I think he will. I think Court of Owls could be a thing he goes with. Maybe Court of Owls were really behind what the Riddler did. You never know. So I think the Court of Owls is something that happens. John, maybe Mr. Freeze. Well, as I say, John, that will be cool. Mr. Freeze could be one of many villains, but as I say, I'm standing by that hill. I'm dying on that hill that it won't just be one villain, but a multitude of villains. It makes sense. And I'm going for the Court of Owls. He had many members of the Rogues Gallery in the first film. So, you know, we even saw the Joker. We saw Penguin. We had Catwoman, who not necessarily a villain, but I think she could end up being a villain with her connections to Falcone now as well. But I don't think it's just one villain. If it is Mr. Freeze, he'll be one of many. That's how I see it. And I think the Joker show and the Arkham show will set up these multitude of villains in the Batman sequel. Very much looking forward to that one. He's an auteur. He gets his freedom. He's not doing Marvel. He's not doing the Marvel thing. So you can have the DC universe doing one story spanning films, TV, and animation, but you can also go over to the DC Elseworld and enjoy Matt Reeves' take and Todd Phillips' take. So as I said on my video today, we're getting the best of both worlds. So people, I know Snyder fans are going to keep on saying, it's like Marvel, it's like Marvel. The Marvel formula is what makes the big money. A Superman movie has to make $1 billion. A Batman and a Superman film should be making $2 billion. Simple as that. A Wonder Woman movie should be making $1 billion. She's as iconic as Batman and Superman. Don't at me. It's a fact. These films should be making top dollar. Black Adam is fine to be making around 400 million. He's not a big character. The same with Shazam. That's okay. It's not an underwhelming box office for those characters. But in terms of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, you do want to see the big bucks. Otherwise, you're doing something wrong. Hunter Iggy, Movies TV Mad, why Jason Momoa happy? Well, he was celebrating on his Instagram, but he said they won't let him tell us why. I think Ray Fisher is returning as Cyborg. That's my theory. I'm not saying it's happening. That's my suspicion, Hunter Iggy. I think that's what's going to happen. Please smash the like button. Smash that like button. Let's get going. John, what did BVS and Man of Steel make? Man of Steel made around 650 million. And Batman versus Superman made about 850 million. Now, normally, that's cool. It's, you know, it's about 100 million more than the first Suicide Squad, but it's a Batman and Superman movie. They put those two together to get Spider-Man No Way Home money, not to get 850 million. So even though both those films made a healthy profit, they wanted to make more money. But because both films were divisive, and definitely BVS is a lot more divisive than MOS, that's why they took less money. But let me be clear. I love MOS and I love BVS. I'm just being straight with people. You know, this is why they're going with the MCU formula, because that brings in the money. But you can still give a director freedom. Just say, add this bit of my story into each movie, but you get to do your movie. You can do both, right? That's what Feig's been doing for years. And it works. Your favorite TV shows, Smallville, for example, in season 4, they were looking for the 3 elements, but they were doing standalone episodes as well. You can do it. It can be done. Come on, everyone, smash that like button. Come on. What's up, bros and sissies? Smash the like button. Let's get this started. But yeah, so I'm very excited about what James Gunn is looking to do. I think it's great. I think it's the right direction. We tried the other thing with Zack Snyder, and it didn't bring the money they wanted. Simple as that. But I'll judge it as I see. I'm not just going to show. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm just going to respect whatever James and Peter want to do. No. Every time they give me some information, I'll respond with a balance to that information, the way it should be done. I wasn't happy when I heard Jesse Eisenberg was cast as Lex. Ultimately, I think I liked his performance, but I wouldn't have cast him as Lex. John, do you think Zack Snyder Justice League would have made a lot of money if it was in cinemas? Well, it would have had to be cut down to at least 3 hours to 2 hours 50, 2.5 hours, it would have made a lot more money than Justice League for sure. I think it would have made the same as BVS. I think it would have made around 850, 900 million. Personally, I think that wouldn't have been enough for the studio. A Justice League movie, again, like a Batman and Superman movie, should be making No Way Home money, Avengers money. We all know that. So I still don't think it would have made what they wanted, but it would have done around 900 million, I think. And people would have been a lot more happy with that one. Ronnie Dodge. Hey, mate. Good evening, Ronnie. Welcome to tonight's live show. Smash the like button, please, and get talking. Because I'm very good. I can talk forever, but it's better if I interact with your questions and your comments. It's a lot more fun. I'm happy to talk. I love the sound of my own voice, but it's more fun if you get into it. So please get involved with the chat. Thank you, John, for all your comments so far. Thank you, Short Circuit, for getting excited about a potential Ray Fisher return. And thank you for saying, hey, mate, Ronnie Dodge. So, yes, I am very, very hyped right now. I will repeat, there is a poster out there for Shazam Fury of the Gods. All the marketing from now until the Shazam Fury of the Gods will be about Shazam Fury of the Gods. There'll be no Flash marketing. There'll be no other marketing but for Shazam Fury of the Gods. And that's the right thing to do. Ronnie Dodge, I love James Gunn, what he said, biggest story ever. I feel it's Crisis. Well, Walter Hamada was going with Crisis, so they could be spanning that through the movies, TV, and animation. But to be quite honest with you, they have been around working on their blueprint for 5 or 6 months, so it could be anything. But yeah, I feel that there's a chance of that, but it could be anything. I don't even want to put my hat on the mast on that one because I just don't know. It'll be interesting if it is New Gods. Biggest story in DC ever. That's what he's bragging. So we'll see, because it's all right talking about it, but you've got to go and do it, James, and it's got to be executed in the right way, and I'll judge it when I see it. So brilliant, exciting. I have no issues. I'm very, very happy. Let's see what happens. I do feel that maybe Jason Momoa's big news is that Ray Fisher's coming back, and I think that will be really good news. And the guy's blocked me on Twitter, and I'm excited. So there you go. Because for me, it's not personal. It's about the films. And it's about DC being the best it can be, the best movies, the best franchise. That's what we want. Personal things don't bother me. I mean, personally, I don't think I ever said anything to Ray to get blocked. I was disagreeing with some of the things he said, but I was very balanced with what I said to him. But sometimes they put you on a blockchain. So whatever happened, happened. Short Circuit, as far as we get good stories, I'm fine. The story doesn't need to be comic accurate. It just has to be good with proper character development. Well, the stories don't necessarily have to be comic accurate, but the characters have to be comic accurate, because we're watching Superman for Superman, not for the devil, not for Batman. Superman should be Superman. Batman should be Batman. That has to be adhered to. But the stories, yeah, you can change things, you can do things, but you don't even have to adapt any graphic novels. You can come up with something original. But yeah, the characters, you do have to be very, very faithful to them, because that's important. We're coming in for the characters we know and love, not other versions of these characters. I think that's something that maybe Snyder kind of didn't kind of think about. It's like it's a mistake to do a Flashpoint movie that really isn't faithful to Flashpoint, that cuts out many elements of that story, because Jeff Johns' Flashpoint story is so good, it doesn't need changing. The Death of Superman the Death of Superman and Superman Lives is one of the best graphic novels. You don't need to change that. It's so good. And ultimately, the Death of Superman story in the Snyderverse simply doesn't work, because he tries to do a Superman rebirth story in a Justice League movie. And that, for me, is the wrong way to go about it. In my opinion, of course. I think that didn't work, because basically it means you've got very little Superman in a Justice League movie. Yeah, you can say he was going to be in Justice League 2 and 3, That's all well and good, but come on. Look what happened in the end. No Justice League 2, no Justice League 3. Didn't work, did it? That's how I see it anyway. Good evening, everyone. You're watching Movies TV Mad, and we're talking DC, as we mostly talk DC, but I'm happy to talk other movies and TV. If whatever floats your boat, really, we're here to be chilled out and talk about what we want to talk about. I think, first of all, a comic book movie needs to be entertaining. So it doesn't necessarily have to do this or that, but it has to, I mean, Black Adam is really entertaining. And I think that's the point. Superhero stories weren't supposed to be ultra deep anyway. This is a myth. But you also don't want a copy of and pasting of the last 10 movies. You want something to get your teeth into as well. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that one. John, the Captain America Civil War movie is very different from the comic. Yeah, I mean, personally, if I was a Marvel fan, I would not be happy about that, because Civil War should have spanned about 6 fucking movies, maybe more. And I mean, to regress it like that, it's an okay movie, but that's not right. I think that's wrong. But there you go. He got away with it because whatever he does is right. Even when he does something wrong, people never call him out for his shit. And that's the problem, isn't it? He can do no wrong in people's eyes. I don't know how that happened. Dual Circuit, but Black Adam plot was weak. Also, the dialogue was pretty cringe. But still, I had a great time in theatres. I watched 3 times and every time I enjoyed. Well, listen, my friend, I'm a writer, and I mean, I'm not really kind of nifty on the old dialogue in movies, right? Listen, the dialogue's okay. I mean, what did you want? What did you want them to say instead? Instead of the plot, you know, you are watching a film starring The Rock. When was the last time you saw a film starring The Rock that had a deep plot? That's not the reason. I mean, personally, I used my common sense before I went into the movie. This is going to be 2 hours. It's going to be condensed. It's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be fun. Then I'm going to leave the movie theatre. I never expected like Shakespearean dialogue. I never expected a deep story. I expected a lot of action. We got that. They introduced some characters. It did exactly what they told us it was going to do. So I'm surprised that people are surprised that it didn't have a deep plot, that the dialogue wasn't Shakespearean. So sometimes I just wonder what people expect, you know, because you got the Shakespearean dialogue in BVS. You got the deep plot in BVS, and everyone complained. You can't, you know, it's like Superman Returns. Not enough action. Lois Lane is too young. Man of Steel. Too much action. Lois Lane is too old. You can't win. That's the problem with fandoms today. You do one thing, they don't like it. You go the way they tell you to go, and they still don't like it. It's pretty ridiculous if you ask me. Black Adam is a really good, not great, but good comic book movie, and it did what it was always going to do. It made the money it was always going to make. There are no surprises for me with how Black Adam has performed. The studio is happy. We move on. We're getting a new vision. We've got new leadership. There's no threat of no more DCU movies being made. So there's nothing to worry about at the end of the day. It's going to make more money slightly than Shazam as well. So there you go. You know, comic book movies are not meant to have the greatest dialogue. I mean, considering if you read a comic book, the dialogue isn't great in comic books anyway. So I'm kind of surprised. Short Circuit, can it cross 400 million? What's your analysis? Well, the experts are now saying it could target 415 million. So that's more than Shazam. It's a small character. It's not a famous character. So the studio are happy with it. And yeah, they'll move on. Whether we'll see more Black Adam movies depends on where we go in the new DCU. But for sure, it's solid. He's not Superman. He ain't Batman. He don't have to deliver 800 or 900 or $1 billion. That was never going to happen. And, you know, if it was, now, if we had a brand, if we had a DC brand like Marvel, where people will come in their shitloads every movie, it would have made more money. But we don't have that brand yet. This is what James Gunn and Peter Safran are attempting to do. And hopefully they succeed. Then films like that will make a lot more money. And that's how it works. You've got to use your common sense in life. This is why we're moving from the DCEU to the DCU, to create a brand that people want to see. And the biggest audiences in the game are the regular audiences. They're who you need to bring in, whether people like it or not. There's no money in auteur-driven movies in a connected universe. You need the connected universe. People want to see the cameos, their Easter eggs. They want to see one story being spread out through films. That's why it's succeeded with Marvel. If it works, it works. But you don't have to copy and paste what Marvel have done, and you can still make your films differently. And again, that's how I see that one. So yeah, I don't really, I'm not concerned that they're going this way. It's the way they should have gone at the beginning. Snyder spoke about having a post-credit scene in Man of Steel where Batman grabs hold of the kryptonite. They decided against it. Mistake. That would have got people excited. So again, wrong decisions. Wrong decisions not to use Christian Bale's Batman, considering the people who did the Dark Knight trilogy were doing Man of Steel. It made fucking sense. These are mistakes. Feige would have used Christian Bale, for example. Feige would have done a similar thing with Superman as he did with Captain America, Chris Evans's Captain America. So there were a lot of mistakes, because it's all well and good making your own movie and your own vision. But at the end of the day, you're not making movies for yourself. You're making movies for an audience because you want to make money. That's why you're there for, to make money. Common sense, really. Ronnie Dodge, have you seen the Fury of the Gods poster? Yes, I mentioned it earlier on, Ronnie. They've got a new poster, and all the DC promotions coming forward will be about Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Not The Flash, not Blue Beetle, not any of the other films. They're going to focus a film at a time. You do not have a Flash trailer when you've got a Shazam movie coming up. That's dumb. That doesn't make sense. So we're focusing now on Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and that's what the marketing will be focused on. We've got about 5-6 months to go till that, and bring it on. So the poster's out. That's just the beginning. We may get another trailer sooner rather than later. It'd be funny if I've said that and then they release a Flash trailer, but I don't think they will. But very excitingly, the Flash movie is the next movie after Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Or is it? Let's see. Yeah, it's a great poster. I like the poster, Ronnie. Really good. Get that marketing done. And they're starting early as well, which is a good idea. This is Movies TV Mad. We don't have a big turnout tonight. One of those nights. I don't know why. I don't know what happens. It just does. So if the turnout continues like this, I'll stay for another half hour. If we get more people and the conversation gets going, I'll probably stay for 90 minutes to 2 hours. Depends. People don't come in, we can't really stay live, but I'm always happy to stay live for at least an hour, which is quite long anyway. But yeah, we ain't got a good turnout right now, unfortunately. It's just one of those things. It is the consequences of being a small YouTuber and going live. Sometimes you get things like that. People say to you, Mick, why don't you go live? Why don't you go live? You go live, look at this, 1 viewer. So then I think, what's the point of going live? Nobody's turning up. As soon as I stop going live, Mick, why aren't you going live anymore? What's going on? I used to like your lives. But you ain't here. Look, you ain't here. So I can't sit here and talk to myself. I mean, I like talking to myself, don't get me wrong. I'll piss off Comic Book Cast too. Welcome to Metropolis, Titans HBO Max. Interesting. So yes, we will keep this going for another half hour because it really is a dead night. And it's not like I've come on late or anything. It's just weird, one of those things. Maybe people didn't get the notifications. Got no idea. YouTube's a fucker anyway. We got someone. The legend CJ, who is a comic book YouTuber you dislike due to misinformation. Do you know what, the legend CJ? I don't want to start calling out YouTubers. You know, everyone's got to do what they want to do with their channel. There is misinformation. I mean, we see when they do, a title to their videos and it's misinformed but you know what? When I think about DC YouTubers, I don't think there's any that kind of stick out, but I wouldn't start calling out people. I know that's boring, but at the end of the day, yeah, I'm not here to start wars with other YouTubers. I'm a very small YouTuber. I'm sure if I started a war, then I'd get more viewers, but I don't want to do that. That's boring. Let's talk about DC. Let's enjoy our geek. Let's enjoy our nerd. And let people do and say what they want to say. The internet's too full of people, telling people what they can do. If they want to send, it's up to you. People are intelligent enough to understand when someone's selling you a lemon. And if you know that, then you shouldn't keep on consuming their content. The more you consume their bullshit, the more they're going to do it. It's actually, it's the subscribers and the viewers' fault, not the actual YouTuber. They're desperate for viewers. They're desperate to make money. So, yeah, you can't blame them. If there's a YouTuber out there selling you, clickbait, then you don't have to watch them or subscribe to them. And if you keep on watching them, right, then you're giving them the wrong message. It's like anything. It's like TV or film. If you don't like what they're doing, don't consume it. That's the best thing. But I must admit, there's not one that springs to mind, not in terms of DC. I mean, Mike Zero, who does Star Wars, I mean, he's the biggest Billy bullshitter I've come across, and I can only admire the lad that he keeps on doing it. And I see his comments; they actually swallow what he's saying. It's fucking insane. I don't hate Mike, actually. I actually like Mike's videos and the way he presents himself. But yeah, that's bullshit on the highest level. I must say that, and it's pretty hilarious. But I'm not going to do that because I could do that. It's easy. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh my God, yeah. James Gunn, how dare you, and all that. But it's not worth it. It really isn't. I prefer doing things the way I do them. And I wouldn't do YouTube if I had to, lie and sell clickbait. I do what I do. All I can do is be myself. And if that means I've only got one viewer, as I've got now, and no one interacting, then at the end of the day, it is what it is. To Legend CJ, I remember Mike Zero during Rise of Skywalker. So much BS. But yeah, you are right, Mike. No drama is the best way. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, life's too short. Even when I get angry with people on social media, once I've said my bit, that's it. I don't do these feuds. I don't do feuds. I mean, there's one lunatic who comes on here. He's feuding with me. He's obsessed with me. He's got loads of accounts. He really is obsessed. And I can't be bothered to hate people for like 6 months, 6 years. I don't have it in me. If we fall out, I'll say my bit and then I'll love you again. That's it. I've had people not talk to me because I've argued with them before, and I just wish I could talk to them because once I've said my bit, that's it. I'm a very chilled out dude. I don't hold grudges. I can't. It's not in me. And certainly, I don't. Yeah, I remember his Rise of Skywalker videos. Actually, I really used to enjoy them. I never used to believe anything he said, but I actually consume his videos because I like his presentation. I know he's bullshitting, but it doesn't matter. because to me, he just amuses me. I consume YouTube that amuses me. I don't need people to tell me the truth because I'm intelligent enough to know my own truth. So I don't need people to speak for me, and I don't need people to be great people and great YouTubers. I don't hero worship people. Hero worshipping people only breaks your heart in the end. When I was younger, I used to hero worship this, that, and I went on Twitter and realized they're all a bunch of twats because they're human beings. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah. You watch what's going to happen, right? As I sign off, just before I sign off, everyone's going to start coming in. Very, very strange. Very, very strange. But I shall stay here till we been on air for an hour. I think that's fair enough. And I'll just shrug my shoulders, say good night, and come back tomorrow for the DCU Daily Live. I mean, The Rise of Skywalker isn't a bad movie. It's just not a great movie. I think it's just so underwhelming because they didn't know what to do. They had no plan. They had no plan. I mean, Abrams even admitted there was no plan. And I mean, I actually like The Force Awakens. I mean, The Last Jedi to me is just underwhelming. It doesn't anger me. Like the stuff they did with Luke, I know why Johnson did it. The guy's old. When you get old, you get bitter, fed up, and twisted, and you're not the person you were when you're young. I get it, but it's not what people wanted. They wanted to see an old Luke Skywalker training younglings and being the, the kick-ass Jedi, he had the potential to be in all the novels and things like that in fan fiction. So I kind of understand what Johnson was trying to aim for, but it didn't work. And you don't get a director coming in a sequel of something, doing their own thing. You need one director, one vision. The problem is even Abrams didn't have a vision. The Legend CJ, even Mark Hamill said they disrespected Luke. I see that trilogy as an Elseworld universe. Well, Mark Hamill was warning us, and, he was warning us. And I mean, really, Mark Hamill was the one who stirred it all up. He's the one who started everything. And again, it's the fans who get shat on. Oh, you're incels, or you're this. Mark Hamill started it. He was the one who's warning us about it. But I understand why Johnson did what he did, but it wasn't what people wanted. Oh my God, I saw Jurassic World Dominion. That film is so fucking woke. It's unbelievable. And I hate that word woke because I think it makes you sound like a basic bitch. But I have to say, that film, I was watching it this afternoon. I switched it off after an hour. I don't care about that little girl you're raising, right? And they're making lots of, they're just making a lot of, let's say, political points in the movie. It was too much for me, and it was boring. Literally nothing happens in the first hour of that movie. Few dinosaurs, ridiculous. Ronnie Dodge, people need to be careful now, like Mickey Sutton, because any ball, James will call it out. Well, I mean, it's true. It's true. Eventually, he will be called out. But you know what? He doesn't care, Ronnie. They don't care. They'll just ignore it. Because you know why? They want people like James to call them out. It gives them more viewers. It gives them more attention. They just don't care, Ronnie. Space Trooper, James Gunn reaching out to Snyder and asking him to do a director jail finale makes more sense than people want to admit. But he hasn't done that, has he, Space Trooper, as far as we know? I mean, look, I am not going to say to you it isn't possible. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I like Zach. I like his DC movies. But I don't know what to say to you there, Space Trooper. It could happen. I don't know what they're thinking and what they're going to do. So, yeah. The Legend CJ, do you think Hollywood now realizes people hate wokeness in movies? Or do you think they will push this garbage out to the public? Let me explain to you, The Legend CJ. First of all, let me just be clear about something. I am not a political person. I do not believe in the system. I don't think it works. I'm neither left or right, but I hate extremism. I hate the extreme left because they hate a group of people, and the extreme right hate everyone else. I'm not political at all. I think they don't care that you don't like it. I think ever since Trump, everyone in the industry has gone fucking insane and got into meltdown, and logic has gone out the window. So I think some people will continue it, but Warner Brothers Discovery won't. because this guy Zaslav is just here to make money. He doesn't care. So the wokeness is leaving WB for sure. Space Trooper, they're continuing with the DCEU. So guess what? No reboot. Well, no, Space Trooper. Now, already we've heard James Gunn say yesterday that the new DC universe, we're working on the new DC universe with a story spanning TV, film, and animation, and it's going to be called the DCU. So we don't actually know what happens to the old DCEU yet. So that's a big assumption on your part. So guess what? No reboot. We don't know that. But these actors are all up there in age. But have a finale for them before a reboot. There has to be a DC endgame for these actors. Well, I think, listen, at the end of the day, they need to start a franchise that works. And I think they're going to skip to that and not walk to that. And, you know, wasting more time on the DCEU and giving these actors an end game. They could do that, but I think if they do that, that's going to be in the Flash movie. You know, some you'll see back, some you won't. Henrik, evening you all. Good evening, Henrik. So we've got 3 people now, which is better than the one we had earlier. If you could stay and talk to me, because I will sign off in 20 minutes' time if it's boring. If I'm getting bored, I ain't going to stay on here. And maybe you don't care if I stay on here or not, but I'm not. Because I started doing lives again because you lot go, we miss your lives, Mick. So, first of all, even I don't know what James and Peter are planning, apart from what he told us last night about this big story spanning movies, TV, and animation. So, Space Trooper, the new DCEU with the same actors, sure, it could reboot story-wise, but if they're keeping Cavill, etc., I'd assume they need a send-off. Well, I don't think they're planning any send-off for Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's already said he plans on being Superman for many, many years. Ronnie Dodge, have you seen Enola Holmes 2 yet? Not yet, but they did ask Henry about that spin-off, and he pretty much said he's far too busy. That's interesting. The Legend CJ, do you think they will recast Gal Gadot? It depends on Gal Gadot, doesn't it? Depends if she wants to carry on. Henrik, think we will get a Flash trailer next year or just a release? Oh, every movie gets marketing, my friend. We will get, when it's time for the Flash movie, if they still plan on releasing it at this moment in time, they will do their due diligence with the marketing. Space Trip, I really wish they'd stop race swapping iconic scenes, heroes like Batgirl, Black Canary, etc. Do you think it will ever stop? Yes, it's going to stop now with David Zaslav. Yes, it will. Space Troopers, superheroes. Yeah, it will stop. It will stop. With Zaslav. Disney will never stop. I mean, I've seen the cast pictures for The Acolyte, and it's just hilarious. But yeah, things are changing. DC, you know, this is why Batgirl was shelved, for example. One part of the reason. So, you know, there's enough black characters and minority characters in the actual comics to cast minority actors. And, you know, female characters, there's plenty. You don't have to be doing the swapping. Henrik, they are probably keeping Ezra Miller captive. No news for a month. Well, yeah, I mean, listen, yeah, I mean, he's promised he'll behave now. Hopefully he does. I mean, I think he is under house arrest because they've got a lot of money riding on this film. Space Trooper, DC could have the insane success if they stop pandering to Twitter people. Well, DC haven't had any success, I'm afraid. Not the success that they want, not the success they've had over at the MCU. And this is why James Gunn and Peter Safran are there to brand the thing so it's more successful. Ronnie Dodge, I'm so happy we have James Gunn in charge. Don't care what some fans say. Yeah, listen, I'm happy with the structure, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend everything's all right now. I want to see what the plans are. I want to see what they're doing. And once I hear project by project, you know, what they're doing, I will react with balance and I'll have constructive views on it. Ronnie George, that's why we have James Gunn and Peter Safran. Yes, they will attempt to rebrand this franchise and make it something that people feel they just simply can't afford to miss. Let's hope it works, because I want DC to be the best thing. But I want the best movies, I want the best franchise, I want all the best actors and best directors coming over to DC. Space Trooper, I wonder why Jason Momoa is so happy. He acted like that for Snyder Cut release. Right. If you wasn't here, Space Trooper, I gave my little theory out. I think that Ray Fisher is returning as Cyborg. And if he is, it's very good news. Henrik, wonder what plans they have. Exciting. Well, yeah, we know there's going to be one story spanning movies, TV, and animation. We know that, Henrik. We don't know anything more at this moment in time. I think we will know more by the end of the year. This is going to be a very communicative kind of leadership. Communication is key. It's something that Walter Hamada, Jeff Johns, John Berg, and Zack Snyder really didn't give us. We need to understand, and we can't have the attitude, I only care about my fans, like Zack did. This is a platform that you need to please as many people as possible, because they're there to make money. It's not there for the charity. They're not there for the fans, Henrik, and Anti-Monitor, maybe that he will be the big bad for this plan of movies. He may be. They did use him for Arrowverse, didn't they? But yeah, who knows? Why not? Do him well, do him justice. Why not? We will see. Space Trooper, makes sense to get Fisher back as Cyborg. I agree. He was fantastic in the Snyder Cut. So many cool black heroes they should have that are actually comic accurate castings. Exactly. Like Val Zod and President Superman instead of making Clark Kent black. Exactly. Ronnie Dodge, I love David Ayer. Reply to James Gunn. Oh, yeah, he replied to James Gunn, didn't he? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think David is a pure individual. Listen, some of his fans are having a go at him for being nice to James Gunn, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Please smash the like button, everyone. Because tonight's live chat is getting a bit better now, but it's been a bit dead as a dodo. Someone came in there and left. How dare you? Don't come into my house, then leave again. Once you're in, you're staying until I tell you can leave. How rude. Who says that? Quickly, someone tell me who says that. I know who says it, but you tell me. How rude. Who says it? If you don't know who says that, you ain't a proper movie fan. How rude. It's a character a lot of people hated. I actually liked him. And I'm very sad that they reduced his role in the second and third movies. There you go, big clue. How rude. Ronnie Dodge, will Fisher like playing a happy Cyborg? Well, don't forget, Ronnie. Cyborg is unhappy because he's just become Cyborg. It makes sense. But now, we even saw him kind of smiling at the end of the movie. So I think he'll be happy. The Legend CJ, was it Jar Jar? Yes. Henrik, Jar Jar. Yes, I love Jar Jar. And I'm not dealing with any Jar Jar hate on here. Jar Jar is cool, and the kids loved him at the time. And I'll never understand why people hated Jar Jar. Some geeks and nerds have got it loose up there, I'm telling you. People hated the prequels because they weren't the original trilogy. Well, it's a prequel. It's how he's showing you how the thing got started. You're not going to have Han Solo again and wisecracks, are you? Ronnie George, how do you feel we have Barcelona for Europa League? Yeah, I heard all the United propaganda merchants, United stand and everyone getting all negative. For me, it's a great challenge. And Man United are good at one-off games. So let's hope we've got a fully fit squad. I think it's after the World Cup, isn't it, Ronnie? So, yeah, and play the best players. If we can bring in a striker in January, that'd be awesome. So, yes, I'm looking forward to it. It's Barcelona. It's exciting. Why wouldn't you want to play Barcelona as a United fan? I'm so bored with the propaganda merchants, the Man United Twitter. It actually annoys me. You know, I love the United stand. I love Mark Goldbridge, but at the end of the day, it's all transfers. Oh, the Glazers, transfers. I don't like the Glazers either, but better the devil you know than the devil you don't. He was saying shit like, oh, Liverpool are being sold. They're going to be bought by some wealthy people and they're going to be better than United. You don't know that. They could get kind of worse Glazers than we've got. You just don't know. I didn't actually want the other guy to buy Man United. because he hasn't got the money to fix the stadium and buy the players we need anyway. The Glazers have got more money than he has. And the Glazers, I don't like them, but they did bring Eric in and they did give him a transfer purse, a really good transfer purse as well. Ronnie Dodge, it's February, so hopefully no injuries. I'm excited. Even the Barca manager said he's worried about going against us. Wow, that's bullshit. He's rubbing his hands together, but that's bullshit because no one's worried about playing us. But yeah, I mean, he would say that, but I wouldn't believe it. I mean, it's like all these fuck jobs at DC saying they're happy that James Gunn's got the job. They're going to say that because they want to keep their jobs. But super, the people who got mad at Air over his reply to Gunn are so silly. Listen, there's one guy called Andre, and I couldn't believe he was saying it's the fans that are going to release it, not you. You're being too nice. Fuck off. David is playing the game. This is what you do. But the Air Cut may never be released. And as much as I want it to be released, I'm not going to lose my shit over it, right? Because it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it apart from hashtag release the Air Cut, which I've done multiple occasions. Nothing else I can do. I am like James Gunn and Peter Safran are focusing on the future, but I would be very happy if Air got his wish to have his movie released. But David Ayer can buy and sell me 60 billion times. So David Ayer is fine. It's the rest of us, it's the rest of us who worry about paying our bills and worrying if we have to pay £8 a month to stay on Twitter. You know what I mean? Because I like Twitter. I don't want to leave Twitter, but if he makes it impossible for me, at the moment you've got to have an iPhone, you've got to have iOS to get the verified thing anyway. I wonder how many people are actually doing it. But yeah, getting mad with David Ayer, you're supposed to be a fan of his and you're going against him because he does something that you don't like. What did you want him to do? Start abusing James Gunn, the co-DC, the co-chair of DC Studios? These are professional people. That's not how professional people conduct themselves. Ronnie Dodge, James gave a reason last night. That's it, not the right time here. Open it to it. But James is putting DC first. Well, listen, there's a lot of double talk in the industry. That could mean anything. It could just be PR spin that we're listening, but thanks, but no thanks. It could mean we're not going to tell you, but we are releasing it. Who knows? Who knows? We know, in all honesty, if they wanted to release the Air Cut on physical media and digital, they could do it just like that, and it wouldn't hurt the future of DC Universe. But they also are probably resistant because they know once they do it, it just brings the restore the Snyderverse noise up as well, and it's something they don't want to do. Henrik, Twitter is going insane now. Nothing new there. Bat Super, same people in the fandom could learn a thing from Air. Yeah, he's a gentleman. There's no need. He's got a good relationship with James Gunn. They spend a lot of time together because basically David Ayer I think he's an executive producer on the film or something, because he was using some of his actors and stuff. So there was a good relationship. They spoke. Look, they're adults. This is how adults behave. Adults don't behave. Adults don't behave that way. Adults talk calmly and respectfully. But even people in the industry act like twats towards each other sometimes. I've seen it. But yeah, you've got to be a gentleman. You've got to be polite and respectful. James Gunn's in this position. That's the way it is. The Snyderverse is dead. That era has gone. I like those films, but it's gone. I'm sorry, but it's gone. It didn't work for the studio, the different leaderships. It weren't bringing in the bacon, and it was very divisive. It brought a lot of hatred to DC. Henry, why wouldn't people want them to be friends? They are both good filmmakers and enjoy each other's work. Why get mad? Ha ha ha, idiots. YouTube, why did you hold that for review? There's actually nothing in that message to hold for review. That's actually ridiculous. So hold it for review, YouTube, and then let it go, please, because he didn't actually say anything wrong there. So this is Movies TV Mad. We're live. We have a measly 3 viewers, and thank you for the 4 likes. And I don't know how long I'm going to carry on for. I'll carry on as long as there's comments, but yeah. If I get bored, I'm going. Maybe everyone in America is voting. I don't know. Is today voting day in America? I have no idea. Ronnie Dodge, the Snyderverse is the past. Now enjoy their movies, but it's about the future now. Yes, that's the way it is. It didn't work out. Regrettably, it didn't work out for one reason. Whoever's fault it was, whoever said and did what, it didn't work out. And it is what it is, you know. Henrik, today is Potato Day in Norway. Exciting. I've decided I want to be the next master in Doctor Who. What do we think? Hello, old man. Don't you dare ask me who I am. I'd be an awesome master. I am the master. So yeah, people are always going to have their views. That's life. I don't pay much attention to it. I react to the news when we get it. So we got some news last night from James Gunn. I reacted to it. I was very positive about it because I think it's exciting. And then we have to just focus on the next movie, which is Shazam 2, then the Flash movie, and so on. Henrik, wish I could get into Doctor Who, but I have no idea where to start. The show's 50 plus years old. Well, what you do is you just watch the revival from 2005. And I mean, there's a movie that was done in 1996. You can start there. I mean, you can watch the first ever episode, then start watching like the revival from 2005. But you don't have to watch every single episode there's ever been. Ronnie George, I do laugh at some of the people excessive overreactions. Yeah, I think that some people might have not much in their lives and, you know, very angry because they're not used to being around people. Maybe they're lonely and they don't know how to conduct themselves in the real world. Henrik, okay, thanks. Doctor Who is a great show, but you have to be, it's unique. There's nothing like it out there. So it's either your thing or it's not. Now, me personally, I would start with the first ever episode in 1963. I wouldn't watch them all. You don't have to watch them all. Then watch the 1996 movie with Paul McGann, and then watch the episode Rose. And then Rose is the beginning of the revival in 2005. Ronnie George, gonna go, mate. Gotta eat my dinner. Have a good evening. You too, Ronnie. Thank you for coming in. So we give it another 5 minutes, see what's going on. At the moment, there's nothing much going on, so... But over an hour, just over an hour. Henrik later, Ronnie. Yes, have a good evening, Ronnie Dodge. I mean, we've got 6 likes, which is about average for me. But the viewers have been very low tonight. Normally get up to at least 12 views, which is pathetic anyway. Henrik, today's such a Monday, Blair. Yeah, oh yeah, it's Monday. I forgot it's Monday. It's funny because Saturdays are normally dead on here. But I got a good turnout on Saturday, about 15, 20 people at times. But yeah, tonight it's just been one of those days. Just got to take it on the chin, haven't I? It's one of those things. Early night. I'll finish off my cola, put something on to watch. God knows what. So we're going to stay on for another 6 minutes unless things improve dramatically. So get your comments down. If you've got anything to say, I was talking about the MCU formula coming to DC earlier. I was explaining why that is and why there's more money in it. Henrik, I like the show with Ben Fogle, New Lives in the Wild. Seen that? Very relaxing. I don't watch things like that, but I do know Ben Fogle, and he's a great guy, and he's good at what he does, and he's a very relaxing guy to watch. Yeah, so I know what you mean. Ben Fogle's great though. I don't know. He used to be on BBC. I think he's on Channel 5 now. I think. But yeah, Ben Fogle's great. Yeah, definitely. I like Ben. You'll notice all the good people are not on social media. Honestly. Henry, you need any new DC comics? I have not read much lately. I haven't. Look, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't really read the comics. I was introduced to DC through Superman the movie, Smallville, and all of that. That's how I fell in love with DC. I don't really read the comics. I'm not really a reader, to be honest with you, Henrik. I don't have the concentration. I like watching TV. I like watching movies. That's my thing. But I mean, there's some fans who watch the films and read the comics, and that's great. They know what they have all the knowledge. I don't have all the knowledge, like the deep DC knowledge. I know some stuff because I've got my ears open and stuff, and I talk to people who do have the knowledge, but I don't know everything. And it's okay. You don't have to know everything to be a fan, as far as I'm concerned. I love Manchester United. I don't know every single thing about the club. I don't have to. Henry, yeah, same. But some comics I got, I really like the New 52 stories. I got a couple of graphic novels in the other room. I think one's a Superman one and one's a Flash one. I think they're Earth One ones, I think. Oh, there's another YouTuber that makes me laugh. The guy with the mask. What's his name? Overlord DVD. What's his name? He wears a mask and he's got this weird, like, Darth Vader voice. He's so funny. Doomcock. That's it. Doomcock. I mean, what kind of a world do we live in when someone called Doomcock wears a mask and goes on YouTube, right? I mean, we live in a. Look, I watch him. He's good at what he does. But I mean, what kind of world do we live in when there's someone called Doomcock on fucking YouTube? It's hilarious to me. And he gets the viewers. It's just amazing. I don't know how people become successful on YouTube. I really don't. Because they're not all talented. They've not got much to offer. But it's just hilarious how it works out. Maybe if I come back as a hot babe and I just wear a bikini next time. Henrik, might have to check him out. Yeah, world is so mad. It's absolutely insane. He literally wears a mask. He uses a voice changer. It is insane. I like him. I ain't got no problem with the guy. He's funny. But yeah, I think it's insane. Well, sadly, it looks like I'm going to have to end the live shortly because there's really nothing going on. And it's a shame. It happens. But I repeat myself, I wasn't going live for months. They were all begging me to go live, and then they didn't come in. People are busy, I suppose. People have had enough of me, maybe. Never mind. I can take it. I'm big enough and ugly enough to take it. Happy birthday to my niece, Maria, who's 13 today. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Of course, I've already wished her a happy birthday, but I think she'd like it if I gave her a shout out. This live chat is as dead as Elvis. So in about when we get to 1 hour, 5 minutes, we'll go. MFC production. Have you heard that Doctor Who Series 14 might get £100 million budget for 10 episode series? I don't know how true it is, though. It wouldn't surprise me with the people involved, but I think people are making up bullshit MFC productions. They know that Sony and Disney are involved now, right? So people are going to be making things up. I mean, maybe it's true, but does it even need that type of money? I don't know. So I don't know how true that is. And I think it's just because Disney are involved now and people are, adding two and two and getting 250 million. So I'm not sure. I don't even think I believe that. I think it's utter nonsense. But there you go. I mean, there's a lot of Doctor Who rumours I simply don't believe because there's so much rumours. But people were right about the David Tennant thing, David being the 14th Doctor. It's true. I mean, it's insane. How can you be the 10th Doctor and the 14th Doctor? Clearly, this version isn't actually the 10th Doctor. It's a different version. Something's going on. We'll find out late next year. And then there's the conversation to be had. Is it desperate to bring David back again? Well, it's the 60th anniversary, so it's okay for him to come back. But are we going to get the others back? MSC Productions, I don't think it's true. Am I the only one who is annoyed that we have to wait 13 months for the David Tennant episodes? Well, I can see your frustrations. They could have easily done a season. They decided not to and just stick with the free specials next year. But yeah, I get your frustrations because Chibnall, we barely got many episodes from Chibnall, and now they're literally just giving us 3 episodes in 2023. It is what it is. We haven't got any power over it. Hopefully we get a proper season after that. MSC Productions, why they didn't split them across the year like the 3 Jodie specials? Yes, I think it's because they wanted to coincide with the actual anniversary. Henry, well, we've got to wait 2 years for House of Dragons season 2. Yeah, but next year you've got the computer game animation with Pedro Pascal, haven't you? The Last of Us. So next year you'll have Last of Us, and the following year House of Dragons will be back. And they'll alternate. So HBO are pretty smart with what they do. There's always something good on HBO anyway, so yeah. But I mean, I'd rather them take their time and do it properly rather than rush episodes out for us yearly. But I'm looking forward to Doctor Who. I mean, I'm getting kind of used to them just making specials now. I mean, look, I would rather seasons, but yeah. I mean, we were spoilt in the day. We used to get 13 episodes and the 14th episode, which was a Christmas special. And they always normally were really, really good. And it was Christmas Day was a special day, even more special for me and Doctor Who fans because we had that Christmas special. Again, we're not getting one this year. Henry, yes, I love that game. My favourite game of all time. Looking forward to that series out next year with Pedro Pascal. Going to be awesome. And then the following year, we'll be back with House of Dragons. It's like you won't even miss it. MFC Productions, we have to wait 2 years for House of Dragons. Maybe that means they'll be able to get Matt Smith back in some way. I know they're finished filming the 60th specials. Yes, I don't know what they're going to do about Doctor appearances. I mean, Peter Capaldi officially has said he's done his time and he's not coming back. But he could be lying. But then again, he could equally be telling the truth. He doesn't sound like a happy bunny, does he? And normally Peter is a very eloquently spoken, placid guy, but maybe the feelings, I mean, same with Christopher Eccleston. He doesn't like Russell T Davies. He doesn't like Julie Gardner. He doesn't like Phil Collinson. They all fell out. So he won't be in it. And maybe Peter Capaldi feels the same way. Who knows? So just like us fans fall out, these people who work in the industry fall out as well. Because ultimately, we're all flawed, we're all human, and sometimes we fall out. But I don't hold a grudge. Christopher Eccleston can certainly hold a grudge, but they did blacklist him at the BBC, so you can understand why he refuses to be involved. So it could be the only Doctor we see is David Tennant, which would be ridiculous, really. Henrik, is Moffat producing that show also? Same guy who made the brilliant Sherlock series. Stephen Moffat hasn't been involved in Doctor Who since Peter Capaldi left. So, yes, he's not involved. But, yes, I like Sherlock. Got it on Blu-ray. Brilliant. Yes, that was a great series. I really liked it. Shame Benedict Cumberbatch is just taking jobs from the highest bidder now. That's a shame. And I think from what he's been saying, he's starting regretting the Doctor Strange gig. Because he's such a good actor. It's a waste of his talents. Yeah, you're making money, but you're worth millions already. You're in a position where you can take any job you want. And, you know, the Doctor Strange stuff takes time. He has to dress up, you know. There's lots of style that goes in, and makeup and hairstylists. So it's a big thing. But he's getting paid well. So, and he's on the biggest franchise, you know, in the world. So MFC Productions, do you think Moffat will bring Sherlock back with the recent death of Una Stubbs? Well, no disrespect to Una because she's brilliant, but I don't think she really affects bringing it back. But as Stevens always said, he wants to bring it back, but it's all about the availability of Benny Cumberbatch and the other guy, of course, Martin Freeman. Henrik, yeah, what has he made without Marvel? I've seen some movies before he was in that, but after made just crap. Yes, it's a shame because he catalogued his talents on Sherlock, so he should be. I mean, he's done a couple of critically acclaimed turns, but you know, when you're in that position, just to be playing Doctor Strange and not being able to take certain jobs because of Doctor Strange is a problem. But Martin Freeman's the same, just taking the money. He's doing Marvel. He done the Hobbit trilogy. But at least that was a star turn. And that was a challenging role. More challenging than the character he plays in the MCU. It's like Sir Patrick Stewart, just selling your soul constantly. I mean, he's really old. He doesn't have to do it. Why is he doing it? Henry, yeah, true that. MFC Productions, I feel like once Marvel grabs TV actors on their films, there is no chance we will see those actors appear in as many TV roles as beforehand. Yeah, listen, it's the highest bidder, isn't it? It's you're whoring yourself out. You're not in the craft because you love the craft. You're in it just to take the checks, and that's all right. It's up to you. But I mean, you can't spend it all, can you? There has to come a time when you say, well, I've made my money now. Let me choose the roles I want to do. But maybe these people aren't in acting for the love of the art form anyway. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch would have been a great master, a great doctor. I mean, he could have been an amazing doctor. He really could have been a great master. And, you know, that's a more challenging role than playing Doctor fucking Strange. And I mean, he's admitting that now. He's actually come out and said that. But that's what he wants to do. It's his job. He worked hard to get where he is. So it's up to him what he does. Who am I? Who am I? A random to tell the great Benny Cumberbatch what to do. But if I was his friend, I wouldn't be advising him. Like that. Henry, yeah, the last Doctor Strange movie was very mid. Yeah, listen, I don't think the first movie was the most amazing thing ever. It was okay. I didn't mind. I like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness more than the other Phase 4 stuff. I think it's a lot better, and I didn't mind it. But yeah, it's nothing special. It's just you watch it, you forget about it, and that's the way it works. That's the MCU. And really, that's the way DC is going to go as well. Chapter-based films that you need to watch, but then forget about really quickly. Oh, you lot who didn't come in, you've missed out tonight. Should have been here. Should have been here. And if I don't go live anymore after this, it's your fault for not coming in. And then it'll be, Mick, why don't you go live anymore? You know what, mate? Because you didn't come in. You made me look like a Norman Bates without no mates. That's what happened, you know. MSC Productions, do you think Indiana Jones will be recast after the 5th movie next year? Only assuming this due to Harrison Ford's age. Well, he won't come back to do more after this. The way Disney are talking, I think they're saying that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones and that's it. But they may try and create spin-offs. So, but I'm not interested. I'm very interested in this one because I know Disney's mentality now, what they're going to do with this film. So, you know, the Indiana Jones thing is finished for me. I don't mind the Crystal Skull movie. A lot of people hate it. But we had 4 movies written by George Lucas, directed by Spielberg, the greatest in the business. I'm happy with that. This shit, forget about it. I don't care. I don't trust Disney. Henry, you heard Campier and Grace Randolph are making a baby podcast together? No, I haven't heard anything like that, mate. They shouldn't even be making this Indiana Jones film. There literally is no point. But it's like this Wakanda Forever, a total cash grab. They could have rested the whole thing or reboot or recast to Charlotte, but they pretended they were respecting the guy. No, they wanted to make a woman the next Black Panther. Henry, they are time traveling right back to the 1940s. I really don't know. I mean, he is a character from that era, so you can't have Indiana Jones in the 21st century because that's not what era he's in anyway. But Indiana Jones was great and everything, but it's over now. It's over. And it's just sad when you do this. You bring a man in his 80s out, you know, you're going to have to CGI him in places, use doubles all the time. Why would you do that? What's the point? Why is he even doing it for that? I mean, some people just don't know when to stop earning fucking money. I mean, you're telling me Harrison Ford needs the money? No. It's just pure greed. Scott Edwards, I think James Gunn has big plans for Arthur Curry. I hope so. Henrik, he should be resting, ha ha ha, drink wine and eat pasta. Yeah, just relax. I mean, why are you doing it? What's the point? Nothing good can come from this Indiana Jones movie. You know, this guy is in his, as I say, he's in his 80s now. Nothing good can come from this. It's like Keaton and Batman. You did it. You were great. I don't mind seeing him a little bit in the Flash movie, but you can't make him the main Batman. It would be fucking embarrassing. It's desperate moves for desperate people, and yeah, not interested at all. So I'm not excited about this Indiana Jones at all because I know what it's going to be. Scott Edwards, I think they can easily fit the current franchises into the new DCU. Or maybe just start again. Don't know. It could be anything. I'm not going to make an assumption that the DCEU and the new DCU are going to be one in the same. Henrik, same. I've got to get some food. Henrik, later, crazy cat. See you later, Henrik. Thank you very much. And I think maybe even Doctor Who's had its day. Who knows? Let's see. For example, the revival of Doctor Who was great in the first Russell T Davies era, and then it destabilised. Scott Edwards, that's why connectivity has been there, but not the key to the stories in the films. Well, there hasn't been enough connectivity in the DCEU, mate, at all. They mention other characters. Very rarely do they share the screen together. and it just doesn't work as a franchise. As a bunch of films, I like them mostly, apart from Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84. But it hasn't worked as a franchise. It hasn't worked as a brand. Now they're going to create a brand new brand, which is exactly what they need to do to make money. And if they decide to disconnect from the old DCEU, I'm fine with that. Scott Edwards, that's why they can easily meld them into the universe. They can, my friend, but they may not. They may use some of the same actors, but they may reboot. They may create another timeline. And again, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to die on the hill that we must continue from the old DCEU, because quite obviously there's no brand recognition or loyalty towards that franchise. We can't live in denial. Scott Edwards, right now I'm super excited for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That's the next film. Yep, so that's what the marketing will be focused on. So yes. It's the next movie. They've released the poster. Exciting times. That's the next one. MFC Productions, are you going to watch Avatar 2? I don't think it will receive the same hype as the technology used to make those films is now regularly used. Yet, well, here's the thing, my friend. The reason the last Avatar did so well, first of all, Cameron is a great selling point, but he was selling the technology of 3D, this, that, and the other. So that really helped sell that movie. Now, he's already said if this movie doesn't do well, he'll just do one more. I think he's already done it and then leave it at that. So he's happy to do that to finish the story. But yeah, let's see. I think the movie will do well. It's going to be interesting. But there's no question the technology last time sold the movie. I think it's a really good movie. I think it has good messages. It's a good story. I think people are going to come out and watch it. Let's see. Because there's not many more exciting films coming out this year anyway. In terms of blockbusters, it's dead. So I think Avatar could do quite well. It's not really the type of movie you would normally think, let's release it at Christmas time. That is an odd time to release it. But everyone is avoiding it. Everyone's changed their dates to keep away from Avatar. I think it's going to do well, personally. Yes, I will go and see it, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. But Jurassic World Dominion was a barrel of shit. It really was. I really did not like that film. MFC Productions. I heard Beetlejuice 2 is coming out in 2025 with Johnny Depp starring in the film. Is there anything left to say with the Beetlejuice thing? You know? Why? Why are we getting a Beetlejuice 2? What for? Scott Edwards, a JSA spin-off movie is a great idea. Yes, let's see what happens. There's plenty you can do with the JSA, but I want to see the whole team in their peak in the past. Otherwise, it's not worth it. MSC Productions, just want to say I enjoy these live streams and I hope you do more. Yes, I will do more. I do them twice a day, one in the morning with the DC Universe Daily Live, and then we do our random live chat in the evening. That's super. I hate reboots because of modern Hollywood. But they're all reboots and reimaginings. There's nothing new. There's very few original tales. I mean, The Northman was the first original thing I've seen in a long time. That's probably one of the best films I've seen this year. Really good. It's all capes, isn't it? It's all capes and reboots. I mean, growing up, we had so much variety. You know, we had the indie movies, we had the auteur movies. We also had a lot of crap, don't get me wrong. Scott Edwards, I hope Mary Marvel plays a big role in the Shazam sequel. I think she does, but of course it is Shazam's movie. But yeah, she will play a role. She's one of the ones who will be front and center. Shazam, Fury of the Gods. John, is The Northman a Viking movie? Yeah, basically, yeah. But it's a good one. It's a revenge movie, basically. It's really good. And of course, the director is very talented. I bet he could make an awesome comic book movie, but you never get him making comic book movies. Scott Edwards, I hope they make their plans clear soon. Well, they're pretty clear. One story going through movies, TV, and animation. That's clear, but they're not going to reveal everything yet. You see, I come from the generation, Scott, where we had to wait to actually watch the movies. These days, you know everything before you go and see the movie. Scott Edwards after the next 4 films. Well, focus on the next 4 films, my advice. They're not going to tell you what's in the films. They're not going to tell you everything. I think they will tell you a slate eventually. But you're not going to know what happened. You know, there's got to be some mystery. Please smash the like button if you see what you like. We have 9 viewers. What do you want to talk about? Scott Edwards, will we still have a whole year of films to watch till we can get to the new stuff? Well, here's the thing. You've got 4 movies next year. Unless they fast track 2 or 3 movies and make them next year, that's a no. You'll just have Joker in 2024. Then I think you'll get DC Universe movies in 2025. MFC Productions, nothing to do with films, but I hate how things are. Media consumption has gone all digital. As when it comes to video games, you can't get them on midnight releases. Yes, the way they sell these things have changed because it's greed. I still can't get a PS5. There you go. John, do you know anything about Blue Beetle? I know it's about a kid who puts on a blue scarab, an alien blue scarab, and then he basically gets those abilities, becomes Blue Beetle. Scott Edwards, they may fast track the new Superman film. They are fast tracking the new Superman film, that's for sure. Could get some news on that very, very soon, so look out for that. And this will be the place to get the reactions all the time. But right now, we have to get these 4 movies out of the way. Then it's the future. I mean, I think Shazam Fury of the Gods is going to be a very basic film. Scott Edwards, I feel like Brainiac might be what they be building towards. Well, Brainiac has always been a big fan choice for a villain because we've never seen him in movies. Now we saw him in Krypton, we saw him in Smallville. So yeah, I think he'll be a popular choice. If they do that or not, I don't know. Bryan Singer was going to do it with his Superman Returns sequel. MFC Productions, do you think Tom Baker will ever appear again in Doctor Who? As I remember, he last appeared in the 50th. Well, he's very old now. You never know. I mean, he may have a little kind of cameo in the 60th anniversary. Wonder Woman 3 released in 2025 with the Batman. But we don't really know their plans for Wonder Woman 3. Scott Edwards, JSA and JL and Suicide Squad versus Brainiac would be amazing. That would be awesome. I agree. That would be a great movie. Yeah, sooner or later we're going to know. We're going to have a slate and it's going to be exciting. But right now we're in the dark, and I think we should be in the dark for now. Because it's been another long year to be a DC fan. We started off this year with Walter Hamada, a 4-movie plan, a multiverse strategy, and now look where we are. Amazing. Scott Edwards, you think they're going to bring Supergirl into Justice League? I should think so. Depends if they're happy with who, Hamada chose as Supergirl. They may change that. So with new leadership, my friend, things can change. MFC Productions, do you have any ideas on when the new James Bond will be announced? Well, when No Time to Die came out, they said they were going to take their time. They would start making the selection process in 2022. At this moment in time, every time they speak, my friend, they're saying they're not ready yet. It's going to take time. It takes time. That's all they're saying. Excuse after excuse. I think the people who run Bond shouldn't be running Bond anymore. I think you need more than one Bond movie every 3 or 4 years. It's ridiculous. That's an old school way of doing it. So at this moment in time, we have no idea when we're going to hear who the new James Bond is. I mean, funny things have happened, but it doesn't look like we're going to get an announcement in 2022. Scott Edwards, I want to see Harley again. You will in the Joker movie. Oh, you meant the other one, the propaganda merchant. I don't know when you're going to see her again. It's her own fault. Because that Birds of Prey movie sucked big time. There's actually no defending that movie. There's no defending that movie whatsoever. And this is what happens when you allow actors to run a movie. Dumb. MFC Productions, have you ever watched the BBC series Luther? I did watch a few episodes and I did like it, but I didn't watch it religiously. But I do like that, and of course that's how Idris Elba became a big star. Yeah, I do like Luther. Scott Edwards, Margot is perfect casting for Harley. Well, we've got Lady Gaga now, my friend. Get used to it. MFC Productions, have you ever watched... Oh, no, I've already read that. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I've got a wall. Needs to be protected. Who's going to sit on that wall? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? You? I don't think so. So don't think I give a damn what you think. You think you're entitled to. Did you order the code red? You don't have to answer that question. I'll answer the question. Did you order the code red? You goddamn right I did. Oh, I love A Few Good Men. That's a great one. You can't handle the truth. What a great actor Jack Nicholson was. What an actor. You'll never see the likes of him again. Absolutely unique. And people are still sleeping on his Joker. Amazing. Everyone just jumps on the Heath Ledger bandwagon. He was an amazing Joker. Scott Edwards, I wonder if Superman might appear in Shazam 2. If he does, because there's been no reshoots, he'd only be in a post-credit scene again. So maybe in a post-credit scene. Because I don't think they've done any reshoots or have any intention of doing any reshoots. Let's see. MSC Productions, with Amazon Prime releasing films on their service a month after they've been in cinemas, do you think cinemas will meet the same fate as blockbusters in the next few years? No. Because I think since the pandemic has finished and died down, streaming have lost a lot of money, and they're all losing money. That's why Netflix want to have two versions: a free version, premium version, and they're cutting down on people sharing one account because they're all losing money. There's suddenly not much money in streaming. So I think if you're making a blockbuster, a superhero movie, something that people want to see, Top Gun Maverick, the cinemas will make money out of that. So I think we are returning to support the theatrical system, and quite right too. And there's people in Hollywood who will not allow the theatrical system to die. And it's important. We don't want to be controlled and only watch films at home. It's absolutely the wrong way to go. Scott Edwards, Dinah is confirmed, right? Oh, yes, she's in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, yeah. She's not confirmed, no. They're not going to tell you what happens in the movie, Scott. So that's never confirmed. But leaks have said she's in it, and I believe those leaks. Support your local cinemas. Scott Edwards, we need to see Dinah again after the disastrous Wonder Woman 84. Yeah, basically, by being directed by anyone but Patty Jenkins. Absolute disaster of a movie. But the soundtrack is top core. I've been listening to it past couple of days, and it really is good. I do like it. But, you know, Hans Zimmer obviously thought he was scoring the movie. Maybe he thought he was doing another movie or something, because the score is really good. It's not Wonder Woman 84, it's Quantum Leap in 84. Oh, boy. I'm shagging Gal Gadot. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, what a way to go that would be, eh? Scott Edwards, that movie could have been amazing with a better script. The script was terrible, everything. Look, it was, you know, if you want to know evidence why Patty Jenkins should never touch Wonder Woman again, it's Wonder Woman 84. Alex, has anyone ever told you that you remind them of Jeffrey Dahmer? Who do you remind me of? Oh, sorry, you're hiding your identity, so I can't see who you are because you're a frightened little boy. Do you fancy me, Alex? Is that why you're stalking me? Do you want to have sex with me? Do you like men, Alex? MFC Productions, thank God cinemas are here to stay, as it's mad with how much physical media in-person events are going digital. Yeah, look, cinemas ain't going anywhere at the end of the day. So, Scott Edwards, the action sequence sucked and Cheetah was unforgivably ruined. Cheetah was terrible. I mean, that is disgraceful, embarrassing. Cheetah is a great character. You know, brilliant character. And they ruined her, absolutely ruined her. And there's no excuses, there's no justification. That's why Jenkins should never be allowed to be anywhere near Wonder Woman. And if Zaslav allows her to be anywhere near Wonder Woman, me and Zaslav are done, because she shouldn't be touching Wonder Woman again. She seems like a nice lady, but you know. McRib Prime, okay, I have missed something. What's happening with Jason Momoa? Does anyone know why he's going mental with Joy Lowell? No, but I did give my theory. I think basically Ray Fisher is returning as Cyborg. That's my theory. Isaac Cruz Beneda, welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Hey, Mick. Hello. Scott Edwards, they could bring Cheetah properly in the new universe. No, Alex, I'm not going to talk to you, mate. At the end of the day, you made a stupid comment. You think you're clever. If you're my stalker who's in love with me, who's been about 1,000 kind of profiles on here, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna respond to you, McRib. So this is awesome. Well, hopefully that's my theory, but there's no official. He said he's not allowed to say anything, but he's very happy. So two things, I think. Either Snyder's coming back, which I doubt, or at the end of the day, I think Ray Fisher may be coming back. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, and you wasn't joking. You get to basically, you come on here hiding your identity, thinking you're clever, and you're not. Go back to TikTok. Go back to where you come from. I'm not interested. We're here to talk about films. We're here to talk about DC. And, I can't deal with your crush on me. I'm sorry. There's so many people who want to fuck me, and you're going to have to get in line at the end of the day, mate. I mean, I don't do blokes anyway, but you're clearly obsessed with me, and I'm not interested. You're not here to talk about films. You're a sad little loser. So why don't you just go away? See ya. Bye-bye. McRib, Prime, Cavill back, Batfleck might be back. Gunn in charge of DC. I have to keep pinching myself now that as a DC fan, we seem to be winning. I love DC, and under Hamada, the DC was being destroyed. Well, yes, at the end of the day, I'm very excited. Cavill coming back, James Gunn and Peter Safran. There's a structure there. I'm excited, but I don't want to get too excited until I see the content and hear what their plans are. Isaac Cruz Pineda. Wait, what's going on, Mick? I joined the stream late. Nothing's going on. We're just talking. If you were here earlier, because there was no one here earlier, we were talking about DC with the Marvel formula. My theory that Jason Momoa is teasing Ray Fisher returning as Cyborg. That's what we've been talking about. But anything else we've discussed, you're going to have to go back and watch it again. McRib Prime, mate, just ignore him. Not worth your effort. I know. No, listen, he ain't winding me up. But sometimes you've got to. I'm not going to respond to him anymore. But this person is obsessed with me. He wants me to have sex with him. I'm not into blokes. All because once I laid him out on here and exposed him on here, and he didn't like it because he's obsessed with Ezra Miller, a groomer, a toxic guy, a guy who beats up women, and he didn't like it because I spoke my truth. Some people just can't handle it, and no one can handle me. I'm not here to make money. I'm not kissing the ass of idiots who become obsessed with me because they can't handle me. Scott Edwards, will Ezra remain as the Flash? Can't answer that. Don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But Rick Prime, Ezra needs to be erased as the Flash, in my opinion. MFC Productions just wanted to ask, I'm doing a degree in film production. Oh, I've been there. I've been to film school. Good luck with that. What, in your opinion, is the best way to start a job in the industry? As I want to be a camera operator, just looking for tips. Well, listen, once you've done your time, hopefully where you are right now, they'll be able to give you some tips. But it's not easy, my friend. I mean, with being a camera operator, it shouldn't be as challenging as it is to be an actor, a writer, a director. Then you really need to know people. So good luck with that. Rib Prime Low. You didn't speak your truth, mate. You spoke the truth. Abraham Herrera, wait, I just got here. What's going on, Mick? Nothing. We're just chatting. We've been chatting about DC and the Marvel formula, asking what Jason Momoa is celebrating. I think Ray Fisher's coming back, and that's it. John, maybe Ray Fisher has finished filming his scenes in Rebel Moon. I don't think that he had much. I don't think his character's that big on the film anyway. Scott Edwards, problems with Smallville later seasons. Yes, that we lost Alan Miles, the series creators. We lost Lex, Lana, and Lionel. And it was just a completely different show. And it became a Tumblr show about the shippers and romance. But there was some still very good episodes. And I can still go back to it and say it was okay. But yeah, it wasn't Smallville anymore, was it? MFC Productions. I'm in my last year and live near Elstree Studios, so I'm not far from job opportunities when it comes down to companies such as Sky and BBC. That's good. It's good to be local. Abraham Herrera. Oh, that's good news. Ray is a good cyborg. Fingers crossed. We don't know for sure, but he's certainly hinting about something. McRib Prime. What's the thoughts on Spielberg's potential directing Henry Cavill in MOS 2? Superman: The Dawn of Hope. Well, he was caught with Zaslav, of course, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's Superman. He was going to do a Black Hawk movie for DC a few years ago. That's his passion project. That's what he wants. Zaslav may say to him, if you do Superman, you can do that. But I would love, there'll be nothing bigger for me than Spielberg making a Superman movie, but I'm not going to get carried away about it because it may not be about that. But let's see. MSC Productions, thanks for your advice, Mick. You're welcome. Scott Edwards, the scene where Jonathan gives Clark the suit is amazing. Yes, it is. It's one of the better moments in the finale because I have a lot of issues with that series finale. Isaac Cruz Pineda, Pattinson for the new DCU. Anything is possible. And I am not discounting anything because clearly it's going to be one universe. They're going to try and brand it. What it's got to do with the DCEU, I don't know. What they're going to keep, let's see. But yeah, potentially Robert Pattinson could be the new DCU Batman. Well, I suppose we're going to have to wait and see. John, Jason and Ray are good friends. That's right. Abraham Herrera. I would love for Spielberg to direct Superman, as would I. He is the kind of director that can have the right sensibilities for Superman. And he'd love to do it, I'm quite sure, because, you know, he's not getting any younger and it's part of the legacy. We have 10 viewers, 8 likes. Batman, I feel the Batman and Joker universe should be separate and stand alone. I don't have any strong opinions about that, but we'll see what they decide. Rib Prime, this guy is clearly bored. Let me explain to you what happens. They go through all the lives and they try and terrorize people. This is what they do. Scott Edwards, of the upcoming 4 2023 films, which are you most excited for? Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and I'm curious about the Flash movie. I like the epic comic book movies. I don't think Blue Beetle's really going to do it for me, if I'm being honest. Isaac Cruz Pineda, the Batman universe is being expanded way too much to be its own singular universe. And the fact that James Gunn wants to one connected universe, that's true. That's a good point. Abraham Herrera, they are the Jokers of real life, just trying to piss people off. Yeah, it's easy, isn't it, when you hide who you are? It's easy. It's not clever. You're hiding who you are. You're just a coward. You know, you're not going to come here. You're not going to come face to face with me. I'm a 6-foot motherfucker. You know, you're too scared. So you hide your identity. You think you're clever. And that's what you're going to do in life. But when there's a third world war and you have to go to the third world war, it's going to get a bit real for you because you haven't got any life skills. That's why the lads in the Second World War got my respect, man. These guys had nothing, no technology. They went out, they lost their lives. These losers are just the worst generation in fucking history. Scott Edwards, Black Adam is not a flop. Well received. Yeah, well received. Solid box office. End of story. It's not even a debate. Small character, did okay. McRib Prime, I'm just so pleased Superman has no longer been killed off. The Flash sounded like a rehash of MOS, which would be an insult to Zack and Cavill. Great that King Zaslav ended that. Well, I think the movie hasn't been that dramatically changed, McRib Prime, and I still think they're treading in Man of Steel and doing the stuff they were going to do. And that stuff with Superman being killed by Zod as a baby, that's in the Flashpoint universe. And it does, I don't think, the Flashpoint universe is one thing, and when he returns to Earth 1 again, it's another thing. But there'll be changing elements, of course, because Superman will be included probably in the end of the movie. Scott Edwards, 300 million is decent. It's okay. Look, if it was in a franchise that had good branding, people would have come in for it, would have made more money, but it is what it is. Isaac Cruz Beneda, hey Mick, if Wonder Woman actor gets recasted, who would you recommend it? Oh, who knows? I mean, could be anyone, an unknown. I mean, for me, Gal was an unknown when she came in, and I think you need an unknown for that role. Otherwise, you're seeing the celebrity and not the character. Abraham Herrera, what excites me the most about The Flash is the scenes of DC movies we are going to revisit. Yes, and Man of Steel is pretty much going to be the 10-year anniversary, and they're going to be treading in that film a lot. Michael Shannon is back. How amazing is that? And that's one way of bringing back Michael Shannon. So when we go back to Earth 1, maybe Zod could be alive again because killing him off was dumb. Wow. I started off this live with hardly anyone here, and I thought I was barely going to do an hour, and I'm 10 minutes away of completing 2 hours. Wow. Thank you for coming in eventually, everyone. McRib Prime, Black Adam will make over 475 million total, which means it breaks even. Still waiting for about 20 countries to have BA released. Yeah, listen, it ain't a disaster. He's a small character. In the comics, he's literally just Shazam's villain. Nobody knows who he is, and The Rock isn't Tom Cruise or anything. So it's fine. There's no drama here. The critics are pricks because they knew exactly what kind of film they were going to get. It's a popcorn flick, but they had to say, it's not exactly a Shakespeare, is it? It stars The Rock. It was never meant to be fucking Shakespeare. Imagine telling someone they look like a serial killer when they're the ones in a little cellar in their mum's house hiding their identities. Who's the serial killer? I'm showing my face, ain't I? Isaac Cruz Pineda, 2 p.m. is perfect for these lives. The issue is I hardly get your notifications when you go live, so I got to actively hunt for it. Well, that's a shame, Isaac. A trick to do is to click off of the notifications and then straight away click back on, because I think that could work. McRib Prime, never understood why people kicked over Zod's death in MOS 2. He died in a Superman 2. CR crushed his hand and threw down the ice cap. He wasn't surviving that. He was depowered forever. Well, McRib, without a body in a story, there's no proof that Zod and the other villains are dead. They sloped down an ice slide. We never saw them again, right? We don't know they're dead. So let me tell you what the problem with Zod being dead, my friend, is. We had a great villain. They killed him. We don't get to see him again. That's the real problem. And also, it's the way Superman kills him. He snaps the guy's neck. That means you can't take your kids to see Superman. That's another issue. Scott Edwards, can you tell me this? Is there an actual villain Barry fights in the Flash movie? I'm not going to tell you that. Why would I even tell you that? I didn't see the full movie anyway, but I'm not going to tell you that. If anyone, McPrime lol, seriously, they were human after the Red Sun. I love MOS, but I appreciate everyone's opinions. Well, listen, if you can find Zod's and his other 2 co-hoots bodies in the Fortress of Solitude, I concede they're dead. But as a writer, I know one rule. I learned one rule. If there's no bodies, they're not dead. This is an assumption that, no disrespect, because I love Snyder's films as well in the DCEU, but this is a kind of justification that Snyder fans use. Oh, well, Superman killed the villains in Superman 2. There's no evidence of this. As a kid, that never even come into my head. The point is, Superman should be a film for families, and Superman should not be snapping someone's neck, stopping young children enjoying a character that was created for them. We don't want an R-rated Superman. He's not Batman. He's not a dark, brooding hero, and it was wrong. Now, personally, I was never triggered by Superman killing, but I will say this. On the other hand, Zod was a great character. Why would you kill him? Why would you rob the audience of more of him? It has no logic to it, and it had nothing to do with Snyder. This was on David Goyer. It was David Goyer's idea. Even Christopher Nolan said to him, "Are you sure about this, mate?" Scott Edwards, Abraham Herrera, Reverse Flash is integral to the Flashpoint storyline. He certainly is in the comics. Scott Edwards, I saw a detailed breakdown of an Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom test screening. I know who the secret villain is. Well, tell us. Because I haven't heard anything like this. Tell you what, Scott, tell us. Right, Scott? Are you listening, Scott? Tell us everything you know about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. John, do you think we will ever get another Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Johnny Depp? No, because he already said he'll never be in one. But this is Hollywood and people do lie. Isaac Cruz Pinedo, I believe in the Batman 2, Robert Pattinson will figure out the Bruce Wayne persona. And in the end, he will either meet Dick Grayson or adopt him at the end of the movie. Yeah, I think if we get a Dick Grayson, he's probably black. But Rib Prime, BVS Ultimate Edition was awesome. It was, as well. Can't believe the studio theatrical cut was so bad due to their interference. But Rib Prime, isn't Aquaman just gone through major reshoots? It's certainly gone through reshoots. Whether they're major reshoots or not, I simply don't know. They've changed. Apart from Shazam Fury of the Gods, I think they've made changes to the rest of the movies, although I don't think they've touched Blue Beetle as of yet. Scott Edwards, apparently Black Manta gets possessed by the spirit of King of Nesris, which is the Lost Kingdom. Interesting. Isaac Cruz Pineda, spoilers. Personally, I love spoilers. I bet you any money Black Manta dies in this movie. So this live ended up okay in the end. We got some activity. But it certainly took its time to get warmed up, didn't it? We even got 11 likes, which is pretty good considering. So if you haven't smashed the like button, please do. Friends, foes, enemies, don't worry about it. Smash the like button anyway. It's okay. I won't charge you. My name is not Elon Musk. Scott Edwards, and apparently Mira was in like 20-25 minutes of screen time in this version. Yeah, that's pretty much right. Isaac Cruz Pineda. It's still a lot of screen time, by the way. Mick, how would you rate the original test screening out of 10? 7 out of 10. Aaron Harrod, does Wonder Woman 3 have a script already? She's written the script, apparently. But listen, I don't think she's going to get to make the movie. And if she does, I'm going to be very concerned. McRib Prime, nice to meet you and talk to another DC fan. Take it easy, mate. Thank you, McRib Prime, for coming in and telling us your point of view. It's been great talking to you. Thank you, and please come again. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And like the video if you don't mind. Ryan Dawn of Hope, DCU fans cinematics. I despise spoilers. Unfortunately, my friend, it's my channel and I like them. Jeff Hill, have you read the haircut script? It's pretty cringy. No, I haven't read it. Oh, I see. It's you. Yeah, I get it. Ryan Dawn of Hope, DCU fan cinematics. Fair enough. John, have you seen any of the Scream movies? I saw Wes Craven's original. I saw Scream 2. I saw Scream 3. I'm not interested in the one they did because they're making fun of the fans because they hate their fucking customers. And I'm not interested in the next woke one they do either. So that's my answer to that. Don't forget to smash that like button, everyone. Let's go. Let's go. Make me famous. Scott Edwards, the first trailer should give us a good idea of Mira's role. Abraham Herrera, they shouldn't even be called spoilers anymore. The studio themselves spoil the movies with these trailers. Isaac Cruz Pineda, when is Aquaman coming out again? Next December, December the 25th of 2023. Not this year, the following one. Alex, oh no, it's you, not talking to you. MSGT, I doubt that the first trailer has Miri in it. Probably not. Well, no, they're not going to advertise her, are they? MSGT, howdy Mick, good evening, MSGT. I told you, when it gets time for me to sign off, everyone's going to come in. It's funny when I'm right. We have 11 viewers, we have 11 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're missing out, so please subscribe. We have the DC Universe Daily Live every single morning around midday. We then have a pre-recorded video 2 or 3 hours later, and then we're here in the evening live. John, who would you say was the worst villain in Smallville? Oh, the villain I didn't like. I don't think there's a villain. I mean, obviously we had the Meteor Freaks, which were okay. Yeah, I love Brainiac. I love Bizarro. Who did we have in season 7? I think Brainiac came back again. Doomsday was great. I mean, I preferred the Davis Bloom version to the actual monster, but that was cool. Zod was quite good in season 9. I think they fucked up on Darkseid. They couldn't afford to do Darkseid, and Darkseid Lionel was cringe. Ryan Dawn of Hope, DCU fan cinematics. The all three Scream franchise is my favourite horror films in my childhood. Scott Edwards, think we'll get the first Flash trailer with Shazam. You will not see any marketing for the Flash until after they finish marketing Shazam Fury of the Gods. So you may get one attached to it, but I think they'll wait till after Shazam's done. Scott Edwards, can I send you an article to read? I don't have my phone, so I can't read an article, I'm afraid, mate. I'm waiting for my phone to come at the end of the week, but I can't read an article. Alex, oh no. Nearly. Isaac Cruz Pineda, thoughts on Man United versus Barcelona Europa? Yes, I'm very excited because United are capable of winning a one-off game, or I don't know if it's two-legged or one-off, but it's a good opportunity. If you're a Man United fan, you shouldn't be upset that we're playing Barcelona. So I'm excited. Abraham Herrera, Superman and Lois took some notes from Smallville. At times, it felt like Smallville. I only watched the first season, though. I didn't watch the whole of the first season. I haven't watched season 2, and I'm upset with them over the treatment of the young man who's not in it anymore. So I think I won't be going back to that show. But I mean, look, Superman and Lois is okay, but it ain't Smallville. It ain't got, for me, it's okay. The Lois isn't unique. She's okay. I would never have cast her as Lois. Tyler's an okay Superman, but I don't think he's an iconic Superman. John, what do you think of Tess as a villain in Smallville? In her first episode, she was on point. She was scary. She was dark. I loved her. The problem with Tess is the longer we went on for, she was great in season 8. Then they made her shag Zod in season 9, which to you Americans is having sex with Zod, which was ridiculous. And then they lightened her up and made her like a good character. So in the end, she was disappointing, but she started off so good. The mistake they made, they needed to give her a Lionel Luthor. Instead of a Lionel Luthor, she needed a kind of twisted mother-daughter relationship. They should have brought back Lex's mother and should have said that she faked her death, and then they could have done that, or brought back her actual mother, or even revealed she was a Luthor sooner. But yeah, they messed up then. Yes, I'm very curious about the Jason Momoa thing. He seems very, very happy. So I just think he's teasing something huge. I mean, yeah. But it could be something unrelated to DC. It could be something about his career. But he seems very, very happy. So he's clearly trying to let us know something. So hopefully it's DC related. But as he said, he's not allowed to say anything yet. But I'm assuming we're going to hear him saying about it soon. Abraham Herrera, where can I find this Jason Momoa thing, Mick? You can see it on Twitter, but it originated on Instagram. He has an Instagram. I don't think he's on Twitter. I'm not sure. But mostly he posts on Instagram. You could probably find it on YouTube, but I think, yeah, he's on Instagram. There may even be an article about it by now. But something's going on, yeah. Isaac Cruz Pineda, what exactly was teased, Mick? Nothing. He just said, oh my God, I'm so happy. Something amazing has happened, but they won't let me tell you. He blew a kiss to them and he goes, you know who you are. And that was it. Abraham Herrera, I love the video where it goes in Ben Affleck's trailer confirming he was back. That was exciting. That was exciting. But Ben Affleck hasn't confirmed that he's back, so that's interesting. Because The Flash was supposed to be his final movie. So, don't know. I don't know about the DCU Batman at the moment. MSGT, yeah, but Cavill was awful quiet the whole time Zaslav was talking to him too. Affleck is also just being quiet, yeah, but, you know, a Cavill is now out and proud. So you would assume if Affleck was coming back, he'd be out and proud as well. But he hasn't said anything. So we may have to wait until the Flash movie to find out if he remains as Batman or not. So we shall see. Smash that like button. I don't know. I have no idea. So anything could happen. It could be Ben Affleck coming back, or it could be someone else. Isaac Cruz Pineda, The Flash feels agonizingly far. Yes, June. At the moment, it's June. But yeah, it will soon be here. Black Adam felt agonizingly far. Everything feels agonizingly far, but we will get there. Don't wish your life away. I'm 50 years old. I can't afford to wish my life away. By the time the new DCU movies come, I'm probably going to be like 53. Fucking depressing. So I can't afford to wish my life away anymore. So I want everything to go slow because I don't want to fucking die. I don't want to be, ow, no, ah. I mean, 50 is pretty old, isn't it? It's a shame. Abraham Herrera, you don't look 50, Mick. Thank you very much, Abraham. I do put on the right creams. Isaac Cruz Pineda, especially when that film holds the answers to many answers to our questions. Abraham Herrera, I thought you were in your 30s. Well, thank you very much. I like that a lot. You can stay. MSGT, exactly. Cavill was out and proud only when Black Adam released. Even the studio was hush hush. I think the same type of hype is trying to get built for Affleck in The Flash. Maybe, my friend, I'm not gonna burst your illusions. You could be absolutely right, but I'm not certain that Affleck's staying or going. I don't know. So I'm going to wait until I've got some solid information. So I don't have an opinion either way there because I simply don't know. I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I'd like him to stay, but I just don't know. Hallelujah. 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 This is Movies TV Mad. Smash the like button, please. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Isaac Cruz Pineda, I'm confident Affleck is not returning anymore. Yeah, I mean, look, it's fine to have a hunch. I mean, after Justice League, I thought Cavill and Affleck would never come back because they were done dirty in that film. And then Cavill has come back, but only because we changed leadership. And I just don't know about Ben at the end of the day. I just don't know. I have no inklings. I have no information. He came back to do the Flash to finish off. It was his au revoir. He said it was the best representation of his Batman he'd ever done. So, and from what I saw, it was, especially the opening sequence. That is a very that. I tell you what, the Flash movie opening sequence is pretty good. Not pretty good. It's one of the best superhero openings I've ever seen. Hallelujah. 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 Don't hide who you are, everyone. Be proud of yourself. Put yourself out there. The bravest people put themselves out there. Show their faces, show their identities. Don't be a coward. Hallelujah. 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 Isaac Cruz Pineda, how could James Gunn and Matt Reeves incorporate Pattinson into the new DCU using Flashpoint? That's all you have to do. New timeline. That's what they were going to do with Hamada. When he gets back to Earth 1 after he fixes Flashpoint, Supergirl is now there. You know, Keaton was there. And that's how they're going to do it. Right, everyone, we're going to shut off the chat because we've been over here for an hour. It ended up being a really good live, and I really did enjoy it. So if any rational people have got anything to say before I go. MSGT, I don't know why they would want to mix the Batman into the DCU right now. Zaslav can double dip Batman for revenue. Yeah, but how many Batmen do you want, my friend, at the end of the day? It's just confusing to people. You can't have 3 or 4 effing Batmans. It's ridiculous. You have to choose one. And it can't be a 70-year-old Batman either. They'll make the right decision, I'm sure. Smash the like button. I'm about to shoot off and wrap up this brilliant live. Thank you for coming in and interacting with me. I've had a good time. Isaac Cruz Pineda, tired of old Batmans. I need some new young blood. Yes, I think we could do a new Batman, a central Batman. Abraham Herrera, well, they may have an interconnected universe and Matt's Batman can be just its own trilogy. Maybe. Once he does his trilogy, he goes away, and that's fine. Isaac Cruz Pineda, even if it's not Pattinson, I would still want a young Batman. I agree. MSGT, I think of Pattinson's Batfleck and Keaton in that Batman Beyond stuff. The three separate franchises, isn't that confusing? Well, listen, I mean, look, they want a defined universe, my friend. You can't have Pattinson, one in the DCEU, and a Batman Beyond. It is confusing to non-DC fans. They need the general audience to embrace this. DC fans are not enough. Marvel fans are not enough. It's the general audience that love the MCU, and that's why it does so well. So we can't just be thinking of ourselves. This is why they're not going to confuse it. There will not be loads of Batman. It doesn't even make sense to do that. I'd love to see Batman Beyond, but they're making Batman. Then you've got an old Batman, and you're bringing in kind of a younger character. But at the end of the day, isn't it too soon to start going Batman Beyond, right? It's not confusing to you because you're a DC fan and you know where all the bodies are buried. But a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand who the Roy bloke is or this or that. One more comment from a sane person and then I'll go. MSGT, the MCU is convoluted mess now because they are obsessed with connecting absolutely everything. Yes, but it makes money and people are still interested in it. So however bad Phase 4 is, it works because it makes money. Isaac Cruz Pineda has to be one universe. I think so. I think you've got to have one universe. I think it's ridiculous. And what they were doing, what Hamada was doing, was absolute insanity. But we will see. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. But it's certainly fun having theories and discussing it. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do before I go. Isaac Cruz Pineda, about how long will the next live be next? Well, I'm here twice a day live. I'm here around midday Cyprus time, which is 10 a.m. UK time, for an hour doing the DC Universe Daily Live. I also do a pre-recorded video that's about 10 minutes long. And in the evening, I'm live for a couple of hours, like I've been over 2 hours now. But my first live of the day is normally just an hour long. Abraham Herrera, wait, remember movies Flash met TV Flash, so this interconnected universe might be in development since then. Well, here's the thing, Abraham, we've got new leadership now, so even though they were definitely setting that up, you're right, they were looking to do a multiverse strategy, but they've all gone, all those people have gone now. So with new leadership comes new ideas, so I'm not sure where they're going to go now. And especially with the Ezra Miller problems, who knows? MSGT latest Mick out. Abraham Herrera, because Gunn said it was going to be a universe across platforms, right? He said it's going to be one story going across films, television, shows, and animation. One story in one universe. He said the new DC universe. Go on, smash that like button. You know it makes sense. it's definite the intentions for them to have one united universe. That doesn't mean you can't have the Joker on the other side or Batman on the other side. But in terms of the central universe, it's going to be unified. It's going to be connected. They're going to be telling one story across, several different platforms. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for DC fans because they wouldn't have experienced something like this before, only if they watched the DC TV shows. Of course, they do that all the time. But this is very ambitious, especially when you talk about, using animation as well. That's ambitious. But he's look, Gunn knows what he's doing. He makes films. He's experienced. It's going to be exciting, but who knows if it's going to work or not. That's one thing we simply do not know. This has been Movies TV Mad with our regular daily live evening show. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives, please like, please subscribe, please spread the word. Let's make me famous so I can get rich and live in an even bigger house than I live in already because I'm effing greedy. So until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate the interactions, appreciate the likes. I love talking with fellow nerds, geeks, and DC fans. I'll see you again soon. I hope you're happy with the stream because I certainly am. See you soon.